Tesla finally put the Model 3 in a few of its California showrooms, specifically the Palo Alto, Stanford shopping center in Los Angeles, Century City. It was starting to seem like the car would never be in showrooms, or at least not many, due to the early production bottlenecks and the fact that the automaker has to fill about 500,000 pre-orders. Now, Tesla will be adding a Model 3 to a few other key locations in California. Soon, people will be able to check out the car at the Tesla showroom in Walnut Creek, as well as a Santana Row store in San Jose. While these California locations don't really come as much of a surprise, the real news, which is likely much more exciting to those who will be able to partake, is Model 3s popping up at locations on the East Coast. People in California may see Tesla vehicles all the time, and there are a plethora of Tesla showrooms in the Golden State, but this isn't really the case in most other parts of the US. The newest locations opened Friday, January 19, 2018, in New York and Boston. The first is at the Tesla store in Manhattan's Meatpacking District, and the other is at Boston's Boylston Street showroom. A Miami location will unveil the car this weekend. At this point, customers can look at the car and sit in it. However, Tesla is not yet offering test drives. With only one vehicle at each of just a few locations, lines are long. The automaker has already had to set a time limit for each customer during busy times. If some 500,000 paid reservations weren't enough, reports are showing that people are handing over the $1,000 deposit during these Model 3 viewings. It's not a wonder that Tesla wasn't in a huge hurry to get the car out in the public eye, since the automaker is struggling to fill just a handful of orders, and now the reservations are growing.
Technology developed by Nissan for the battery electric Nissan Leaf will be used in an electric bus project led by a team from Kumamoto University. It starts testing next month in Japan, with the goal of making zero-emission public transit more widespread and affordable. The bus, named Yoga ECO Bus, will feature 3 batteries, 3 electric motors and an inverter from the Nissan Leaf. Nissan is also developing a dedicated gearbox for the bus and offering technical support. The company hopes the technology can help the project achieve its goal of creating environmentally friendly buses for public transportation systems in Japan. The initiative brings together talent and expertise from the automotive industry, government and academia. It is part of the university's ongoing involvement with the Japanese Ministry of Environment project that aims to reduce or eliminate CO2 and other emissions from larger vehicles such as buses and trucks. Real-world testing is scheduled to begin in February in Kumamoto City in western Japan. An obstacle in creating large electric vehicles has been the high cost of development and parts, including batteries and electric motors. By using technology already conceived and perfected by Nissan, the cost of manufacturing electric buses can be greatly reduced. Toshiro Matsuda, Kumamoto University project leader said, "We hope to improve Japan's environment by standardizing the manufacturing of EV buses with help from the know-how of automakers. Our goal is to develop EV buses that are well balanced in terms of being friendly to the environment and having low development costs."
It may be luck that makes a Subaru, but we suspect that a good deal of research and engineering went into the design, development and manufacturing of the new Crosstrek. Featuring some key upgrades for the 2018 model year, this capable car could be an ideal vehicle for buyers who want a compact SUV that drives like a sedan but also offers SUV sturdiness and cargo capacity. Subaru was smart enough, or got lucky enough, to catch the early wave of interesting crossover vehicles that turned into the tidal flood of our current SUV obsession. The Outback of the early 2000s foreshadowed the light-duty adventure vehicles that now dominate the American road. The newly refreshed Crosstrek is a 4-door SUV that seats 5 adults comfortably. Not as swanky as the top Outbacks, nor as spare as a stripped-down Forester, the Crosstrek model line starts with the $22,710 2.0i and climbs through the premium and limited models, with manufacturer-suggested retail prices starting at $27,210, including destination charges. All three are powered by the same 4-cylinder boxer engine, which makes a reported 152 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. This engine, new for 2018, is lighter than earlier power plants and is fuel-injected, which produces a few more horsepower and offers improved fuel economy. Energy is delivered to the road through a continuously variable transmission and Subaru's excellent all-wheel drive system. That's not a lot of horses under the hood, but the CVT manages the power well, and the continuous all-wheel drive system, paired with Subaru's active torque vectoring and traction control, give the car an extremely planted feel. Around the city, the Crosstrek benefited from tremendous visibility, sporty corner-to-corner acceleration and nimble handling. Parking was eased too, by the very good backup camera. The steering and suspension felt tight and well-tuned, though the braking seemed a little mushy at times. It also felt safe, though it seemed relatively light in the body, and not as sturdy as the higher-end Outbacks. Full disclosure, we liked the one we drove for 10 years. The 2018 model was named a top safety pick by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and scored in the top category in all the IIH's crash tests. We enjoy the drive experience more when we did my own gear selection, via the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, standard on the limited and an available option on the premium. This put the horsepower and torque to maximum use and increased the car's spunky feel. On the freeway, in manual or automatic mode, the Crosstrek felt comfortable and capable, even at higher speeds. It's not quite as quiet as one might like, despite an improved acoustic windshield, and suffers from the same wind and tire noise that plagues a lot of 4-wheel drive SUVs. A day-long drive might get tedious, but a run to Malibu and back, enjoying the Harman Kardon optional audio system, was perfectly pleasant. Subaru's version of adaptive cruise control, part of Subaru's EyeSight driver assist technology, which includes pre-collision braking, lane keeping assist and lane departure warnings, impressed me as well above average. The EyeSight system is an optional upgrade on the premium and limited Crosstreks. When set to moderate freeway speed, it helped the model we drove slow gradually when the traffic slowed, and speed up gently as the traffic returned to normal, without any of the "hey, look out!" jerkiness that seems baked into some manufacturers' ACC systems. Subaru's onboard infotainment system comes in 2 versions and includes a 6.5-inch screen on some models and an 8-inch screen on the limited. In that formulation, it comes standard with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, along with voice-activated controls, a CD player, dual USB ports and an easy-to-initiate Bluetooth system. The model we drove also had standard front seat heaters, a reminder of how well Subaru has done with its 4-wheel drive, 4-season cars that function so admirably in rough weather states. Of the 3 trim lines, only the top 2.0i limited model comes standard with Subaru's X Mode and L descent control. We didn't spend enough time off-road to take advantage of these features, but when paired with the Crosstrek's advertised 8.7 inches of ground clearance, increased cargo space and standard roof rails, they should enable some of the kind of backcountry adventuring that Subaru highlights in its advertising campaigns. How many will test the Crosstrek's off-road mettle? Folks in icy, snowy climes will find the all-wheel drive useful, and will use that roof rack for skis and snowboards. Southern California drivers may want to spin some sand in Joshua Tree or hit the local slopes once the snow starts falling again.
The Tesla Model 3 configurator has been updated and looks like the $35,000 base model will come sooner rather than later. Despite all of the early issues with Model 3 production bottlenecks, it appears as though Tesla is beginning to deliver quite a few of these vehicles. The fact that the $35,000 base model is listed as an option for early 2018 is promising, even though in Tesla time that probably means middle to late 2018, but still. Currently, if you're lucky enough to get the invite to configure your Model 3, the bottom line is a whopping $49,000. It was supposed to be $44,000 since Tesla was adding a $9,000 bump for the long-range battery. However, the premium upgrades package is currently mandatory, which adds another $5,000 to the price tag. The base Model 3 will be a single-motor, rear-wheel drive car, just like the long-range model. However, it will carry a smaller battery pack, about 50 kilowatt-hours as opposed to 75 kilowatt-hours. Some people have suggested that the base Model 3 could actually have the same 75 kilowatt-hours battery as the long-range model, although software limited to 50 kilowatt-hours. This way Tesla could charge you to upgrade your battery. However, there is no information confirming this, and it would be a severe financial disadvantage for Tesla to put the much more expensive pack into the base model. Additionally, if this was the case, the base model could already be made available. Model 3 reservation holder, No Pointer, uploaded some screenshots of the updated Model 3 design studio on the Tesla Motors Club forum. He did so to share the recent changes. Although, if you hadn't seen the configurator previously, you may not realize what's different. The not yet available battery and powertrain are grayed out, so you can't click on them and see specifics. Also, the update seems to be a bit buggy at the moment, but it's working nonetheless.